Welcome to the Dice Tower's coverage of the Gamma Trade Show 2013, aka Tom and Eric Go to Vegas, in which we bring you the latest board game news from the show.
Alright folks, welcome to another video in our series from the Gamma Trade Show 2013. This time we're going to finish up all the rest of the companies that we had a chance to talk to. There was a lot of announcements that were made and a lot of different games that were looked at, and we couldn't show you all the audio without you falling asleep. Really, it would have just been too long. So I tried to cut it down for you, the rest of it here. So let's get started right away.
My name is Ray Weirs. I'm the president of Calliope Games, and we produce family-style games. For gamers, they're great gateway games. They're perfect games for you to introduce your friends that are not gamers into your hobby that you love so much. For families, they're the perfect fit. They all play under an hour, typically under $30, and anyone from 8 to 99 can play without any problem. So that's what Calliope focuses on. So in 2013 we have a couple of really exciting products. The first one has to do with Sorrow of the Seas. When we did the Kickstarter campaign for Sorrow, we did a set of tiles that were stretch goals, for stretch goals, and we are putting those into a single box as an expansion for the game. It will be $12, and you'll see that somewhere around June. And it has all 9 tiles in there. So that's, if you're a Sorrow player and a Sorrow of the Seas player, that's a really exciting product. And then our newest gem is going to be called Roll For It, and we will be doing a Kickstarter for that probably the first week of April, and you can expect to see it on the shelves the last week of July, early August. Roll For It at its heart is a resource management game. What you're doing is rolling dice and matching them up to target cards. The target cards have point values from 2 to 15. When you're able to match all of your colored dice to the targets on the card, then you are awarded that card and those victory points. So it's very, very easy to learn and play, but the thought process behind it is one of resource management, and those are your dice. So it's a great way to teach family gamers and new people to gaming, resource management, and it's a product that will keep a gamer actually engaged and rolling those dice over and over again. So it's an excellent piece. Now, with what we've done is the box itself is going to come in 2 different variants. They will be $15, and they will have 24 dice in them, 30 cards, and the rule set, and possibly, if everything goes right, a dice bag to hold the dice and the cards together. We did 2 variants so that although the cards are different between the 2 boxes, but they're balanced, right? You can now play up to 8 players. So if you buy both variants of the game, you'll have 8 different colors of dice, right? 30 cards, and you'll be able to entertain 2 to 8 players instead of 2 to 4.
Hello, I'm Dan Yarrington with Game Salute, and I'm here to tell you about all the latest and greatest in games coming from Game Salute later this year. So, first up, we are here at the Gamma Trade Show. We're going to be at a ton of trade shows and conventions all the rest of the year. So if you want to join us, you can find us at PAX East, which is this weekend, or last weekend by the time you're viewing this. We are going to be at Origins, Gen Con, we'll be at PAX Prime, we'll be at PAX Australia if you're in Australia. We'll be at Essen this year, and we will also be at BGG Con. So those are all the big shows. There may be some other small local cons that we have folks at, but those are the big ones that we'll be at. So you come find us at those shows. We have a ton of games that are up now and coming out. Alien Frontiers, one of our bigger titles, is going to a 4th printing. We've sold out of 3 printings of that. And if you look for the Rocket Dice campaign on Kickstarter, you can find these awesome rocket-shaped looking dice. And we're also tying in the 4th printing of Alien Frontier. So if you missed it for some reason the first 3 times around, you can still get in on that. And it is an upgraded version, so if you remember the little plastic domes from the original, those are in the base game now. So you can get the upgrade pack if you have the old version, and then if you haven't gotten it yet, if you get the new version, you'll have upgraded stuff. The rocket dice are separate, those are not in the base game, so you would need to get those because you'll see why when you look at them. And then we've got Nothing Personal coming out, of course, from Tom. And that is going to be, it should be right around Gen Con. It's on track right now. Obviously, there are things that could delay that, but all this stuff is off to the printer, so we're just waiting for all the production process, which will take many months. So that should be around summertime release. We've got Emperor's New Clothes is a sort of experimental project coming from Jonathan Liu, so that's still up on Kickstarter now if you want to check that out. That's not for everybody, but you will get exactly what you see for that, so check it out and see if it's a good match for you. And then we do have a couple of, speaking of Nothing Personal, we have a Nothing Personal playing cards project. So if you were one of the people that got your sort of custom art, or if you just want to get Nothing Personal, you missed the first campaign, go check that out. And we also do have a Pixel Lincoln, which is our side-scrolling 8-bit President game, deck building side scroller, and that one also has a playing card deck, so if you like that or if you missed the first campaign, you can jump on those. Pixel Lincoln is going to be summer as well, probably around Origins. We had a lot of delays for that because we had so much custom art for all the backers, and we just upgraded a ton of stuff. So when you see the metal coin, if you go to the Kickstarter page, you can see the preview pics. You see the metal coin, you see the upgraded bonuses pack, so it's a really slick production, but that is due this summer as well. Might be for Origins, definitely for Gen Con. So lots of other cool stuff. We've got Legends of the American Frontier, actually, which we haven't officially announced yet, so that's a scoop for you. Legends of the American Frontier is a great game from Richard Lanius, designer of Arkham Horror and many other great games. And this one is more of a, it's not really a storytelling game, it's a strategic game where you're basically, it's the Old West, you're going to different sort of quests, different challenges. So you go to fight at the Alamo, that sort of thing, and everybody has to decide where they're going to go, and then you reveal. So we might say, oh, I'm going to go, yeah, I'll go help you with that. So it's kind of a sort of semi-co-op, because if you don't have enough support at a given thing, you're going to fail, but then you still get valor points. Whoever puts the most in gets valor points. So the neat part is you're building your story. So by the end, everything you do, oh, I danced with the president's wife at the inaugural ball, I fought at the Alamo, and by the time you're done, you read your story. Like everybody reads their little story just for flavor. So that's about, it sort of has a Seven Wonders-ish feel as far as the actual mechanics of sort of drafting and whatnot. But that one's about an hour and a half game, hour and a half. So that one's going to be coming soon to Springboard, and then that'll be releasing later this year, depending on how fancy it gets. So that'll be later Q4. Walkstar is coming back. If people had seen this, it was 2.5 years ago or so. They did a real small run. It was a cooperative game about running a Chinese restaurant, and we're working with Kebab Games, who is the studio that made that, and we're doing an upgraded version. They've done some tweaks and stuff, and so it'll have a full sort of big release. That'll be a big box. And it's been pretty neat to watch the developments that Tim has been working on. Tim Fowers is the designer. So that one's going to be big. We just got so many different games, I can't cover all of them. Most recently, we had Z-Pocalypse come out just recently. Keyflower from Richard Breeze, that's in the US through us. So lots of exciting stuff there.
The next group we have here, I have a whole bunch of videos here in a row that I want to show you from Impressions. I'll let Aldo explain what Impressions is. After Aldo's done talking, we're going to show clips from many of the companies that work with Impressions, and also I was at some seminars, so I took some things and cut it from there. So it might be a little disjointed, but hopefully you can find out about some of the cool products they're coming out with.
My name's Aldo Ghiazzi. My company Impressions is a game distribution service company, which means we handle the distributor sales and shipping and warehousing for game publishers. So instead of them selling their games, calling up the distributors and shipping them themselves to them, we do that for them. And we do it for about 60 game companies and do it all under one roof, so it makes it easier for the distributors to get these companies. So that's what we do. One of the other things Impressions does, we're the creators and organizers of Free RPG Day. So in the vein of Free Comic Book Day, if you're used to Free Comic Book Day, we do the same thing. This is the 7th annual Free RPG Day. People like Paizo and Fantasy Flight and Goodman Games and Trollord Games, many other publishers participate in the event to give away unique quick start rules and or adventures that can only be available at your friendly local game store on Saturday, June 15th, 2013, always the third Saturday of June. And go into your store, play some games, run some games, spend some money at your friendly local game store. That's what it's all about.
I'm Kurt Covert. I'm the owner and lead designer for Smirk and Dagger Games. And we're here at Gamma Trade Show showing off some of the new stuff we've got for 2013. The big news is we've got Dread Curse, which is a pirate booty divvying game. And it has variable player powers, so you're constantly moving from captain to cabin boy and all the way through the crew, and each of them have a different ability to draw a certain number of coins. So the captain gets rich quick, he draws the most, all the way to the cabin boy who draws none but steals one from another player. And then of course they all have their special unique cheats. One of the things about the game is you have to avoid the cursed treasure, which is the black spot. So if that ends up in your stash at the end of the game, you lose. So the first mate, his cheat is that he, instead of stealing a coin from you, he can give you a coin. So there's a lot of backstabbing, stealing, and jockeying for position. And of course there's a whole deck of nasty pirate code cards as well. The designer, this is the first time that I've actually brought an outside designer in their game into Smirk and Dagger, and his name is Stuart Sisk. He's a first-time designer. I was really attracted to the game because of the great bidding mechanic to decide who's going to be captain and on through the crew. It's a really nice casual light game. It plays from 3 to 8 players in 30 to 45 minutes, so it's got a really nice kind of party feel to it. Well, Cutthroat Caverns, I think most people have heard that Fresh Meat launched. Well, it was supposed to launch at Gen Con, but the shipment didn't make it. And Fresh Meat is basically an expansion of the fans for the fans. And it really answers what we've been begged for since the game came out in 2007. One of the biggest things is that people always wanted to have customized characters with different life totals, different starting abilities, and we now have that in the game. We also, because maybe you don't like the way we did the presets, there's an ability to start with 100 life points and draft your abilities, and every ability you take on costs you a little bit in life points, and that's the balancing mechanic. In addition, it's the first time we've added new cards to the main play deck. We've got new relics, new events, 23 new very, very tough creatures. People keep on wanting to up the death threat, and by God, they'll get it this time. Also, it comes in a box that fits everything we've printed before. So now instead of having a tower of boxes, you can fit it in just one box.
Is there room for the upcoming expansions?
Yes, there's a little room to grow in it. What's next is we're actually looking at doing a themed set, which is all about new incarnations. That's kind of the creature that separated itself as a category of creatures that we do in this game. That's a little different than the standard, fantasy fare. So this will be dedicated to that with additional relics and events that also augment that theme.
I'm Eric Summerer with Break from Reality Games. I'm here to promote both Disaster Looms and Damage Report, which is our next release title, and to continue gaining, knowledge on the industry. Damage Report is a 2 to 6 player game. It's a real-time co-op game. That has mechanics unlike any other game that's currently on the market. There is a real time pressure element to this that causes player engagement to a level that I've not really seen in any other game, which is why when I met the designer Alex Barbieri, we wanted to sign him on and make the game happen for Break from Reality. So right now we're in very final stages of art creation. We should have art done here probably the end of this month. Next month we'll be going through some final instruction manual work, and we should have files over to print probably sometime by the end of April.
The other game we have coming out in 2013 is Mythic Mages. It's a co-op deck builder. What makes this unique from other deck builders is you're not just building your own deck, you're helping everybody build their decks as well. We're going to have cards in there that allow you to trade cards with other players, help them trash cards that they don't want, and you're optimizing the whole game rather than just what you're doing. Eliminates that kind of deck builder, traditional multiplayer solitaire kind of feeling.
I'm going to talk to you about one of our newest products right now. This is a typical size of a meeple you might find in any game. In fact, some people might call this a giant meeple. This is Blue Panther's idea of a meeple. This is a meeple and it's a dice tower. And it's coming out in May, and I'll pass this around so everybody can take a look at it. It's in solid MDF. The first two colors will be red and blue. It'll MSRP for about $25 and be available in May. As often is the case with our products, we also offer you the ability to customize it for your store if you'd like. Other titles we have coming this year include a game called Rasputin, which is a semi-cooperative game about getting the Mad Monk. Essentially, you have to move the guards and cooperate with other people to move the guards to actually finally put Rasputin where he belongs, 6 feet under. It's semi-cooperative. It takes about 40 to 60 minutes to play. It will be on Kickstarter, and like our other Kickstarters, it will feature retailer reward levels and things that will only be available in your store if you back it on Kickstarter.
I'm James Matthew from Minion Games. We got 2 games coming out this year so far. Second stage from Manhattan Project. It's an expansion. It's got rockets and H-bombs and personalities in it. We also have a game called Hegemonic, which is similar to Eclipse and TI, and that should be out for Gen Con, we hope. And that's a high-level interactive space 4X game. So that we're looking to do really well with because Kickstarter did real well on that one. We also have Coins, which was an add-on for that took off on Kickstarter. So the Coins will also be out during summer, and everybody's looking forward to some very futuristic-looking coins.
There were other companies there too, big companies and small companies, but there were also companies there showing off games that were ready to go to Kickstarter, companies that were in essence not even really have a published game on the market. An example of this would be the guys from Nord Games.
I'm Chris with Nord Games, and we've got a couple of games coming out this year. One is War of Realms. It's a fantasy genre RPG that's easy to learn and fast to play. It's based on cards. There's no game master guide or player's handbook in this game. Very easy for new players and even seasoned veterans in RPGs. We've also got a game called Tiny Zombies, which is a survival-based cooperative game where you're going to survive from zombie hordes in a city, and the whole premise is that the players build the city as they go. So every single time it's totally different, and you never really know where to go to find the safe zone. So, and along the way you find items and weapons and various zombie hordes events and things like that. The idea of Tiny Zombies actually came from in 2012. We were watching a lot of scary movies and stuff on bad television because it was Halloween. So we were thinking of ways that we can incorporate the themes of your typical horror flick or zombie movie into a game that was kind of more cartoony and fun, and could be fun for kids and stuff too. So I'm a big fan of classic movies like Evil Dead and stuff like that. But then, of course, the original Night of the Living Dead and stuff like that always seem, when you watch them now, they're almost comical because they're so bad. You know, the special effects and everything are so bad. So that's where it came from. I have a good friend too who he actually is in a movie where he is a zombie, and so he was instrumental in kind of pushing for, hey, we really need a zombie game. You know, you really need to make some zombie themed games so we can play, you know, that kind of a thing, because he was a big fan of zombie games. And so yeah, it really just stemmed from that, and our understanding of D6 dice rolls from really from our other game, Wara. We actually used the polyhedral D20 sets for those, but we figured that most people would, you know, be comfortable with a D6 dice roll, and that's where you get the outcomes for the game. You know, whether you attacked a zombie or, you know, were able to flee or whatever. You know, so people seem to be very comfortable with the D6s.
I went and watched a whole seminar, recorded a whole seminar from Upper Deck Games, where they talked a lot about their cards, but they talked a lot about Legendary. So here are some clips that I cut out that you can see them talking about some of the upcoming very exciting things for Legendary.
The complaint we had, or we heard, was that all the art on the cards, for example, people who've played another game, all the heroes have the same art. And we thought, well, we can get around that by doing our border scheme and breaking art out and making stuff look look different, but yet having it be the same piece. And anybody who's played the game knows what I'm talking about. So we listened to that and we changed it, and I'll get to how we changed it. So because it's done so well, we're obviously doing an expansion. And Dark City is the name of that expansion, and originally it was going to come out in August. People didn't want to wait that long. We moved it up to June, so it will be out in June on shelf. It's a $39.99 SRP. It is the first expansion that we're doing. There's 350 brand new cards in this set, and the biggest thing we heard about Legendary, the core set, was all the art felt the same. Oh, I got 5 Captain Americas out of my board. They all look the same. Okay, that'll never happen again. We're doing one unique, like each hero now has 4 pieces of unique art. So every card type has its own art set. So it's 4 times the art that we had in the original set is in the expansion. And that'll be in every set moving forward. So we'll never hear that argument again. Now this is coming out in October. June for the Dark City. This is the first time actually we've ever shown this, so come on, get excited, man. It's Fantastic Four! Come on! So, what we're doing for our expansion plan, and I also should point this out, is we're doing 3 a year. There's gonna be 3 expansions to Legendary every year. And it's gonna really anchor around the big box, which is like the Dark City one. The Dark City one's good, we're calling it the big box because it's got 350 cards. Every June, that's gonna come out. And there's gonna be a new 350 card story arc, or something else, like some big event in the Marvel lineage that we can focus on because it's going to be 350 cards. Every 4 months after that, you're going to see a little expansion of 100 cards. Okay, so in June you got Dark City. In October we're following it up with Fantastic Four, and I mean, look, this isn't art from the set, but you can guess who's going to be in it. Right? We're not going to look. Journey, you don't go see Journey in concert and don't hear like Don't Stop Believin'. You know what I'm saying? So we're putting Galactus in, we're gonna put Silver Surfer in, it's all gonna be in there. We are making Legendary card sleeves. But Fantastic Four, and the reason it's Fantastic Four, by the way, let me back up. The reason Dark City is Dark City is because I'm a giant Cable and Apocalypse guy, and we're putting them in the set. So like that was me. And like these guys, they have their favorite characters. Nick has Iron Fist, Bubby has Iceman. Guess what? They're in the set. We didn't get to put them in the first set. You believe that? We got hose on every one of our favorite characters. So on the first expansion, we kind of embellish a little on our own. For the Fantastic Four, the reason it's Fantastic Four is because everybody that we listened to on our boards and our forums said we need to have Fantastic Four. So for us, it's a no-brainer. It's giving the people what they want, and we're happy to do it. Oh yeah, this. So, Legendary is, let me give you a little, pull back the curtain a little bit. Legendary is not just a Marvel game. Legendary, I'm getting the time thing, so we're gonna start ramping it up. Legendary is the engine, okay? So anything that's branded with a Legendary engine can work together with other Legendary products, okay? Anybody who's ever played Versus System, remember that? Yeah, all right, well, we stole our own idea. All right. So we have a new license coming soon. I talked about it really briefly at the beginning, and I can't reveal it yet. But I can give you a hint. The name Legendary is in green now. I'm just saying, there's something there. Might be something there. So it's going to be another, it's completely outside of the Marvel comic universe. It's not something that probably you're expecting. So, but it's going to be cool. I guarantee it's going to be cool. All right, but again, it's going to be basically another core set, same size. It's going to have a new board. It'll be proprietary to the license that we're doing and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a brand new Legendary game, non-Marvel related.
Fantasy Flight didn't have any earth-shaking announcements. They usually save those for Gen Con, but there was some interesting things. I'm going to show you a clip from the Christian Peterson showing off their upcoming products that are coming out in the next couple weeks, months, and so on, and then an interview.
See, hopefully that you order for your store, should be here this week, is Relic, which is our big release of this month. This is a Warhammer 40k version of the classic Talisman game. We think we've done some really fun things with the system, and we really think that any 40K player there is going to be excited about the components, about all the cool artwork, being able to jam into this. It's a beautiful production. We have a sample of it over in the corner. Come check it out. Letters of Whitechapel is a game that we took over, and we're going to be releasing our version of probably in the next 8 weeks here. This is a game that is a fantastic game, and we've been just surprised at how excited some people are. There was a retailer that we met with just 15 minutes ago who said he had 12 pre-orders from his store because people are so excited about it. So this is one to pay attention to. We release online. We're known for fairly big, pricey board games, but we actually have a number of different lines. We have one line where we sell that's $11.95, small, fantastic card games. We do Hey, That's My Fish That Way. We have a game called Cold War, and we have another game, a really fun game called Masks. That's coming out here in the next 4 or 5 weeks. Beginning of the conversation, I talked about how we focus on proprietary, licensed, and classic games. We've done a lot of really great classic games. Wiz War is one of those. Cosmic Encounter is another. And we also got the rights for the classic board game that was published by Eon back in 1984 called Borderlands. And we worked hard on trying to create a really exciting new version of that. And ta-da! There it is. It's going to be quite great. We decided to call it Gear World because that's a setting that we made up for it. We've been working on that setting for quite a while. And call it Borderlands as a subtitle because we didn't want to confuse people with the Borderlands computer game. That's a very popular and excellent computer game out there. So that's coming out. We also just announced here last week that we are going to put out here in June Planet Steam. Planet Steam is our version of the, what do we call it, cult classic German Planet Steam game, which is a giant $130 massive monstrosity of a box. This is sort of our take on it, and I must admit, I think it's one of the most beautiful games that we've ever done. I'm just so proud of the components, these cool little steam tanks that are in there, and the art and with the graphic design coming together. So very excited about that. We have a game called Elder Sign. I don't know if anybody here, that was one of the games that was profiled on the Will Wheaton tabletop show. And it also is a game that we have done a very, very successful, extremely successful actually, application called Elder Sign. And both of those things have driven a lot of sales for Elder Sign, and we're just astounded by Elder Sign, which is in our top 10 best-selling games. We worked hard on expansion for that, and that's coming out. Unseen Forces should be here relatively shortly. So that's the main group of things. We were going to release a lot of other things, very supporting releases in books and the art and LCD packs. But these are the things that I felt just to bring to your attention as senior retailers here.
Well, we have Relic that will hit the stores this week. If it's not there already, we're very excited about that. Gear World, the Borderlands should be out in the next 6 to 8 weeks. We also have Unseen Forces, the first expansion for Elder Sign coming out. We're very, very excited about that. Elder Sign's been amazing for us, and people have been really wanting an expansion, so we're excited to get that out.
Now I asked him, why is Fantasy Flight doing so well? Because they had a very high growth last year, did very well, and what was the secret to that success?
Well, as Christian talked about in his presentation, we kind of base our business off of 3 pillars: proprietary products, stuff that we've created ourselves, like Descent, really strong licenses like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, and classic games like Cosmic Encounter, Wiz War, and we think Borderlands, Gear World Borderlands as well. And we think that kind of diversity, and also the fact that we're in all 4 game categories. We have a strong presence in card games, board games, role-playing games, and miniatures games. And we're very fortunate to have some very strong product, whether it's licenses or Descent and great classic titles, and it's all really come together for us.
So I wondered about Netrunner and X-Wing miniatures. They seem to be doing extremely well.
No, with Star Wars, we knew that X-Wing and Star Wars, the card game, would be huge. They're great games, and it's one of the best properties of all time.
Now,
right?
you have the license to make miniature games for Star Wars at this point. Well, does the Disney thing affect that at all? The new Disney acquiring Lucas?
That does not alter our contract at all, no.
So can we look forward over the next year to see more X-Wing stuff coming?
There will be more X-Wing stuff coming. Don't ask me what it is, though, because I can't tell you that. But
That's okay, we have our guesses.
I'd love to hear that. There is more X-Wing stuff coming, and it's very exciting. But if I could just speak about Netrunner as opposed to Star Wars for a second as well. Like I said, we knew that those games would be huge. Netrunner, we knew would be good. We were excited about it, but there was no way to predict the response that we got from that. I mean, that's just, I've been doing this for longer than I'd like to admit, and I've never seen something just come so strong like that out of left field. Like I said, we knew that it would be really strong, but this strong, wow, that's amazing. We have some surprises still. It's going to be a great Gen Con this year. Oh, there's very, very cool stuff coming. Make sure you come to Gen Con.
So that's about it for this time. Like he said, come the Gen Con. Now we still have some more. That's all our news from the Gamma Trade Show. But I did talk to the publishers about what they thought of the state of the gaming industry and Kickstarter itself and a little bit else. So a few more videos coming up. But anyway, until next time, all this was recorded by myself and Eric Summerer. We'll see you at the Dice Tower.
Thanks for watching the Dice Tower. Join us next time for more news from the show.